Hello and welcome to another STEM in a Box instructional video. Today we'll be just having a quick look at LaserWeb4 and how we generate multiple toolpaths. Specifically, we're going to do a vector cut. We're going to trace that from a bitmap, and we're also going to do that with a raster engrave. So we're going to mix the two. Great, so let's go and get our documents. So going to get the cutout, which is the bitmap, a square, and also going to go and get my engraving, which is my engraving there. Great, so I'm just going to separate those out. So that's the one I'm going to do the raster engraving. So, and the other one down here is the bitmap, which is just the square. So I'm going to trace that first. So I'll go to filters and trace and do some smoothing and preview the trace. Yes, that looks good. Create the trace, and there we go. So down the bottom here, I've got the bitmap, which is that I want to engrave, and then I've just traced, and that's the bitmap of the square which I've traced. Okay, so I don't want to. I'm not going to use that. And then down here. Okay, so this is the path. This is the SVG. Trace that we just did here. So if we look up there, we can see it there. Okay, so I'm going to do a let's do the engraving first. Okay, well, we have to size them really, don't we? So that's the first thing that we want to do. So I'm going to make that bitmap 100 by 100. Okay, all right, and that's it. Now that path I'm just going to move out of the way, and then I'm going to put this one right in the corner. Excellent. So that's 100 by 100, but that's the outside of the bitmap, you see. It's not the actual image. So what I'm going to do is going to select, now this is the SVG, the traced square, so we're just going to put it in the corner and make it bigger. That's it. So probably want to make it, well, if we make it, looks like about 95 by 95. Let's try that and see what happens. Okay, zoom out a little bit more. So it's about right, a little bit less in the Y plane, so we might make that, oh, that's X. Okay, yeah, well, that's about right. And then in the Y, 94, let's make it 90. Okay, put that down there. So that actually looks about right. Good. So, well, let's make it a little bit bigger. So 92. Great. And what I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to grab the bitmap, which is underneath it, and just put it in the middle. Put it in the middle like that. Okay. Great. So let's move it down a bit. Okay, good. That's good enough for now. So the square on the outside is the traced SVG, and the one in the middle is still a bitmap, and I'm going to raster engrave. So done the artwork now. I've sized it and manipulated it. So let's go and create the Gcodes now. So first thing is going to do the laser engraving bitmap. So we're going to drag that down into the documents there. And laser raster, laser diameter, I would suggest something like make it a fairly coarse one, maybe 0.3 passes, one pass. Cut rate, say 500 might be a good start, and I'm going to name that G-code. I'm going to call it Raster. Okay. Good. That's all good. So I'm going to we can generate that. That's fine. So that's the raster engraving there, and we go down here if you want to click the preview. There's the preview of the raster engrave there. So it looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is drag the path down to the documents here. So that's the SVG, and now we're going to do a laser cut inside, and the laser diameter, let's make that 0.3 as well. Passes will be 1. The cut rate we will make, say, 200 if it's cardboard or something like that. And let's generate that now. And if we go to the simulator, so it's doing the raster engrave first, which is what you want, and then you can see there it goes around, and if I unclick that, that's it. So just the simulator, so it's doing the raster engrave, and then it goes around and does one pass for the cut. Now you're just going to have to use trial and error to you know, increase or decrease the laser width on the raster to get that, you know, more detail or less detail, and give it more passes or less passes for the cut, depending on what material it is. Okay, but now that's two G-codes together, so let's have a look at that G-code. So we can see here that everything looks good. This is the first G-code, tool diameter information there, and we have got everything. Yep, the lasers firing on and off and all that sort of thing. So the numbers here, what do the numbers mean? So the S means laser on, and then the number, so this is the first one, is the raster engrave. So so just here, so S 0.07, that is 7% power. So it's just decimal. So 1 is 100% power and 0 is off. So so here S 0.46 is 46% power. So that's just the raster engraving going along, and then all the way down, eventually down here somewhere, it'll be right at the end, just here. There we go. So that's the cutout there. So it's quite quick. That's the cutout there at 200. Great. So that G-code looks good. The simulation looks good. It's going to do the raster first. I can change the order if I want to here using these buttons up and down. You want to do the cutout last, and then now if you've got your, now that's it. The G-code is now generated, so you need to either pass that to the machine, either through a file or through the LaserWeb4 through the USB or network or what have you. Great, thanks for listening.